back with my 17-week pregnancy update. I look so forward to doing these. They're so much fun. It's just so much fun to talk about. As usual, I'm gonna start out with kind of my stats and then tell you what's been going on this week, and then answer some of your questions, and at the end, I will show you some of the things that we have purchased or received as gifts for the baby. So 17 weeks, I'm like 17 weeks and a half. On Wednesdays, I'm like halfway through my week. So in the past week, I gained another pound, so I'm up, is that 8? Yes. No. What? I don't know. I can't remember. It'll be on my blog. It's either, I think it is 8 pounds. I'm up 8 pounds for the full time now. I saw my doctor yesterday for my monthly checkup, and everything looked great. When I got on their scale, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight, and I was like, this is not right. This is wildly inaccurate. I believe this is what I said to the nurse, because I have a scale at home that I weigh myself on once a week, which is about a pound heavier in my experience than the scale that I usually use at the doctor's office, but I was like in a different little room they have like different little rooms at the doctor's. So I was in a different room this time, where I had been in the same room for the other appointments before, and the scale was totally different. So I'm pretty sure I gained a pound because that's been pretty consistent on my home scale. And yeah, that was just kind of funny. That was like, I did not lose 8 pounds in 1 week. Like that didn't happen. But regular checkup where, you know, I got to ask her some questions. I talked to her about, you know, some of you guys noted some concern about me being so thirsty. I brought that up with her. She's like, oh yeah, people are worried about diabetes. It's totally common to be thirsty, especially when it's warmer weather. Just keep drinking, keep hydrated. I'm not worried for you, is what she said to me. And I don't do that, the sucrose test, until I think the very end or the very beginning, the very end of my second trimester or the very beginning of my third. I think it's like around 25 or 26 or 27 weeks. I'm not exactly sure, but she's like, I'm not worried about you being thirsty. And I told her about my little light headaches, and she's like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Hormones cause that mostly in pregnancy. And I haven't really had any in the last few days. So, and they've been like nothing to write home about. Now that's really been like my only complaints. I'm not even complaining about those things, because they're not even interfering with anything that I do on a daily basis. So yeah, that's been really good. And then she, you know, she listened to the baby's heartbeat. She found it right away. And it's so funny because it sounded exactly like it did. If you watched my pregnancy update last week, and I talked about going to Golden View Ultrasound in Chicago and having the elective, like, extra 16-week ultrasound, a non-medical facility, but I just wanted to see baby girl and kind of assuage some worries I was having. Is that even a word? Sometimes I say words and I'm like, I'm not really sure, but I say them anyway. Anyway, that I haven't had any anxiety really at all about baby since that ultrasound. So that was so worth it. And I just absolutely love this little thing. So this is baby's heartbeat at 155. When I went to the doctor's, she put the little like Doppler thing they have on me right away. It picked up the sound, and it sounded exactly like this. Like, I listened to this so much every day that I knew it was the same beats per minute. And I was like, what is that, around 155? She's like, yep, just about 154. And I was like, I knew it. So that was kind of funny. And I told her all about my experience at that place, and she thought this was a really cute idea. So that was a really good doctor's office. I had another blood draw to check for, I think it's the AFP test they call it. I might be wrong on that, but it's to check for spina bifida. And that's kind of the last blood test I believe that they do for chromosomal abnormality kinds of things, issues. So I think that's the last one. And they also are, you know, check my vitamin D and stuff like that they do every once in a while, just because I was pretty low before. But that's it. So I don't have another appointment till I get back. We're going to Utah very soon, actually at the end of this week. And I don't have another appointment till I get back, which is exactly 4 weeks. So that's perfect. And it's actually also when I'm going to do my 20-week scan. I'll technically be 21 weeks, so she said that's not a problem. And I'm like really excited for that ultrasound. It's probably the last ultrasound I will have for the baby, unless there's like something they need to check on later down the road. They usually don't do ultrasounds past that point unless there's something they need to see. But I'm also like just a tiny bit nervous about it, because that's when they do it's the anatomical scans. They do all the measurements and they check for any like physical things that aren't right. So that's just another little thing to worry about. Of course, we're gonna love our baby no matter how she comes to us, but you know, you always want your child to be as healthy as possible and to have them have the best start in life. So I'm excited, but also a little nervous about that, but it's a whole month away, so I have time. But I'm not really fixated on it, you know, it's not at the front of my mind, it's just kind of bubbling in the back there. But that was a doctor's appointment. I've actually also been keeping up with pretty consistent with my weekly acupuncture appointments. I haven't taken herbs since the end of the first trimester, basically, but the Chinese herbs, I mean, I talked about that in my pregnancy announcement video about my kind of combining Eastern and Western medicine to help me with my conceiving. But I've kept going to acupuncture just because it just makes me feel better, and I feel like it really just keeps me in balance. And I've just become so used to it. I've been doing it for almost 2 full years now. So it's become part of my weekly routine and part of my kind of self-health care. Well, it's not really self because somebody else is doing it, but you know what I mean. It's what I do for myself. So I won't be seeing my acupuncturist for a long time because we're going to be away. And she was asking me if I wanted any recommendations for people in Utah, if I wanted to see anybody. I was like, well, do you think I need to see anybody? She said, honestly, no, you're a rock star. I was like, thank you. Because I think, and she said that because, you know what, before the acupuncture session, we sit down and I tell her about what's been going on with me physically, emotionally, like how I'm feeling in my body, in my mind, everything. But we're mainly focusing on physical symptoms, and I just really haven't had any. I haven't had any aches or pains. I really don't feel pregnant until I look down at my little bump, which has popped a little bit, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But I know a lot of people at this point can start getting hip and back pain and joint pain and round ligament pain with their uterus stretching, and I really haven't had any of that yet. And that's not to say that I'm not going to get those things. I probably will down the road, but I'm just very thankful that I haven't had them yet. And I don't actually think it's all luck, because I have been staying very active and very limber with keeping up with my stretching and my yoga, and then also with my exercise, and just trying to eat balanced and get good night's rest. So I think it's all played into it. So I've really been feeling like really good. Basically have no feeling of being pregnant except that I am. Like, I don't have a physical thing that's like, oh, that's because I'm pregnant, you know. That being said, still haven't felt anything yet, but I did show a couple of you guys, I guess my readers from my blog and my viewers from my videos here are sonographers. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure where you put the emphasis on that, but people who do ultrasounds for a living, right? Ultrasound technicians. And they mentioned, after seeing the pictures I posted of baby girl last week from that 16-week thing that I did at Golden View, that it looked like I had an anterior placenta, which means your placenta is attached to the front of your uterus, in front of your baby, instead of behind it. And it's not out of the ordinary. It's actually a very common thing, and it's nothing to be concerned about really at this point. So I asked my doctor, I brought the pictures and I asked my doctor, and she confirmed that I have an anterior placenta, but she said it looks really high already, like pretty high up. So the only time that it's a cause for concern is if it kind of comes between the baby and your cervix, and then that can be a pretty dangerous situation, especially like down the line. But nothing to worry about right now, and most of the time, like more often than not, the placenta will be above even if it's in front of the baby for most of your pregnancy, by the time it's time to deliver, it will have moved up and you won't have a problem. So apparently though, having an anterior placenta means it can take a little bit longer to feel something. And my doctor said she wouldn't expect me to feel anything until the 21 to 25 week mark. And she said, that's totally normal, and especially if you have the anterior placenta, it's generally a little bit later. So that kind of helped ease my mind a little bit too, because, you know, I really do want to feel her. I just feel like I can't wait for that experience, and I just feel like it'll be just reassuring. And I know that she's gonna not move all the time, and that's gonna freak me out. Sometimes people were mentioning that too, and I know there's always gonna be things to be anxious about, and then when she's born, there's gonna be a whole slew of other anxieties. But I'm just trying to live in this moment now and experience the feelings and emotions I'm having now and share them with you. Okay, I gotta look at my list now because my brain just doesn't hold on to anything. Okay, oh yeah, food aversion still, fish. Oh, fish. I can't. Don cooked a whole like trout the other night because he wanted it, and I just couldn't be in the room. I couldn't be anywhere near it. I mean, you know, I just can't. In terms of cravings, I'm still on my fruit kick. It's like I can't get enough fruit. And craving, what the hell was that? Craving wise, right now it's all about apples. I've just been really like wanting a juicy apple every day. That's been kind of my special treat. And sometimes I put a little nut butter on them, or just plain, or sometimes even with a little couple slices of cheddar on the side. Oh, so good. Okay. All right, so I've talked about kind of all the normal, regular stuff I talk about. Oh yes, I wanted to talk to you about something I purchased last week, and I actually shared on my social media. This is my Snoogle. I know it looks crazy. I love this thing. So this is a pillow. It's a curved, kind of funny shaped body pillow. And it's not necessarily strictly a pregnancy pillow. Actually, it comes with a like guide that shows you all the different ways you can use it. And it's to help with a variety of, you know, can address a variety of needs. But it's also really good for pregnancy. You can use it front ways or back ways or whatever. Now, I haven't been having any pain, like I said, and I've been sleeping fine. But I've always been, I'm just gonna put that down because it's like a little crazy to hold. I've always been a side sleeper, and I've always slept on my right side. Ever since I can remember, like, what it is to sleep. Like, I've always been a side sleeper. So when I got pregnant, I was like, well, I'm gonna try to train myself to sleep on my left side because, I mean, you can Google this, but there's some reasons why sleeping on your left is actually ideal in terms of blood flow and just positioning. It's just a better position, especially as you get further on. So I was like, well, I might as well try starting now. And I actually took to it right away. I was really surprised because I've always been just such a right side sleeper. Since I've become pregnant, I've slept with a pillow tucked between my knees just to help with hip alignment because your body is changing a lot and shifting, and I just wanted to make sure everything was as aligned as possible when I was resting because I figured that would help me with any aches and pains down the road too. What I've been noticing though in the last like month or so, I've been waking up on my back, and I have never been a back sleeper ever. Like, never, ever, ever. And it's just so odd. I don't know what it is. And like I've read, you're not really supposed to sleep on your back. It's not the end of the world if you end up there naturally, but you're supposed to kind of try not to, especially as you progress, right? Well, I was like, I don't know what's happening and why I keep ending up on my back. So I was researching different pillows, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna try the Snoogle. It's probably something I'm gonna want a little bit further down, but maybe right now I can use it to kind of help lock me in position at night. And so that, I've been using it. It's only been like 5 or 6 nights now, but I am 100% total convert. It's like being hugged all night long. And I love my husband and I love snuggling with my husband, but that man radiates heat like it's no one's business. And we can snuggle for about 5-10 minutes before I'm like, okay, time to go to our separate sides because it's hot. And he gets hot too, even in like the dead of winter. And I tend towards cold anyway. I tend to be very chilly. Like I really need a lot of covers even in the summer to kind of like cozy up. But I like sleeping in a cool room anyway. But yeah, this is really, really nice. I really like it. So kind of, I have it right now where the whole length of it goes behind me to lock me in. You know, further down the road, I might want to sleep where my belly's more on it in the other direction. But it does everything I want it to. I can kind of hug it up here as a side sleeper. It goes between my legs. My between my knees, and it's also supporting me on the back. And I found that I'm not waking up on my back anymore. I'm like locked in place, but it feels really cuddly and nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just had to wax on about that for a second because it's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the bump. Like I mentioned, I feel like it popped out a little bit more this week. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited that I feel like I'm really finally showing, like legit showing, not just like I look a little pudgy or something. I feel like I look a little pregnant. And that's just really exciting. And I've been wearing some of my new clothing that I hauled. This is a new top. I don't normally like to wear tops for my bra strap shows, but I'm just like, I like this top too much not to, and I just thought it was really cute for summer. I'll post a link to that haul for you guys if you want to see it. In the eye. Is it that side? Look, I can't. No, it's this side. It's this side, yeah. So yeah, there's that. That's the other new thing, I guess that's happened, is I got some new summer clothing. Especially, this is from Pink Blush. They were so nice and reached out to me and offered me some stuff, you know, without strings attached. And I just love it, and I already have things in mind for fall and winter, but I'm holding off until kind of know more what my size is gonna be. But I'm pretty set now for the rest of the warm weather season. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so now I'm gonna answer a few of your questions. So every week, you guys leave me some of your pregnancy related questions in the comments, and then I pick 2 or 3 to answer here. It's kind of like a weekly Q&A. So one of them asked about if I would consider doing a month of vlogging while I was pregnant, because she was saying it would be just so interesting to see my daily experience. I don't really have plans to be a daily vlogger ever again. I did that a little bit, I dabbled in it a few years ago, and it just ended up not really being, just didn't really suit me. It felt like I was crossing some boundaries that I shouldn't have really crossed for me personally to feel balanced in my life. And I love watching daily vloggers. It's just not for everybody, right? But I do like vlogging for you guys once a week, or if there's a special occasion, or if we're traveling, I'll usually do a little kind of follow me around on my trips and stuff. I love doing that. And I am going to do another kind of altered version of Vlog-A-Days this year. That is in my plan, where between Thanksgiving and New Year's, I vlog more than just once a week. So I used to do every day in years past, and then last year I think I did maybe 3 or so vlogs a week, I think is what it ended up being, and that worked out really well, like 2 or 3 vlogs, and I really enjoyed that, and it kind of gave you more of a sense of my daily experience without it being, you know, without it being outside of my comfort zone, basically. And I'm planning on doing that again. So it's not exactly a whole month of vlogging, but it's like 6 to 7 weeks of more vlogging. So that'll be coming up in the holiday season, and I'll be really pregnant. I will be 8 to 9 months pregnant during that period of time. So it should be kind of, I mean, it'll be interesting for me, but it should be a little bit different because I won't, things are gonna be different, you know. I don't know how that's gonna affect my like holiday traditions. We'll have to see, but I'm excited. I'm so excited for the holidays. I've like already started singing Christmas songs because I'm just so excited, because it's gonna be even more of a magical time. It's always a magical time for me, but I can't wait. Okay, I'll stop talking about that because the video's gonna be real long otherwise. Okay, number 2. Okay, are we planning a baby moon? Now, this was a question from last week's update, but then when I posted my maternity haul and I was talking about wearing my new clothes on our baby moon, I got so many questions. What's a baby moon? What's a baby moon? What is that? I've never heard of that. So a baby moon, I think, is kind of a newer term, although it's not a newer practice. I feel like people have been doing this for a long time, but it's where you go on one last hurrah vacation with your significant other before baby comes and just enjoy each other. It's usually kind of a relaxing thing, I think, for most people. They try to do something where they can just kind of chill and be, it kind of depends on your personality. Some people want more active vacations, but generally people do it kind of in the second half of their second trimester, because that's when you're feeling the best, and you're not too big yet, and you're not sick anymore from your first trimester if you had any issues, generally speaking. Not for everybody, I mean, everybody's experience is different, right? But that's kind of the concept. It's like a honeymoon pre-baby. It's a pre-baby honeymoon, hence the baby moon. So Dawn and I, we celebrate our wedding anniversary in September, and this year is a big one. It's our 10th anniversary this year, and we're very excited. And before we got pregnant, we had planned, well, we were planning on going to Australia and New Zealand. That was kind of our dream 10th anniversary vacation. And right before we were going to have to plan it, I got pregnant. And we were trying to get pregnant. If you watched my whole like first trimester recap video, you guys know this whole story. We were trying to get pregnant, but we just really didn't know when it was gonna happen. Well, it happened. So luckily we hadn't booked anything yet. And even though my doctor said it would be okay for me to travel that far at that point in my pregnancy, although I was very early in my pregnancy when I brought it up with her, but you know, we'd be going in the second half of my second trimester, I decided that I just didn't really feel comfortable traveling that far for that long of a trip, because to go all that way, it's basically like a full 24-hour journey just to get there. And once you're there, then you want to stay a long time. So we were going to be going away for like probably about 2 weeks, and just the thought of being on a plane for that long, even if it was like broken up in chunks, I just didn't think that was a good idea to plan that, because I had no idea how things were going to go for me, how my pregnancy was going to unfold, and how I was going to be feeling. And it just seemed like it seemed like too much, and it's something we would still really love to do, but it's obviously something we're gonna have to wait for a long time until you know, baby girl is old enough. Maybe, I think that'd be a great trip to do with like 10 and 12-year-old and up. I think that'd be really fun. You know, kind of depends on your kids, but and we don't know how she's gonna turn out, but so we kind of put that on hold for now. And Dawn suggested we go back to Hawaii, which is where we went for our honeymoon. We honeymooned in Maui 10 years ago, and he just thought that was really kind of a nice thing. It's still kind of, you know, a getaway where we're going kind of far, but it's not so far, and it's also not like too big of a time difference. It's not too big of a haul to get there, but it's still like going away to someplace magical that's really special to us in our relationship. So he planned the whole thing, and that's where we're going this September. And I think we're going for 10 days. I mean, it's gonna be a really nice trip, and I'm actually planning on taking a whole week off of posting while I'm there, and I'm feeling like really kind of like devious about it, but I'm really excited about it too. But don't worry, I'm posting a lot between now and then afterwards. But anyway, that's the baby moon. Yes, we are planning one. It also happens to be our 10th anniversary trip, so it's kind of a 2-for-1. But that's our last big trip together before baby comes. So that's what that is. And then lastly, I was asked, who will I have in the delivery room come baby time, come January? And I am very, very, very private person about things like that. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, you really don't know how things are gonna unfold, especially when it comes to giving birth, until it happens. But I plan on just having Dawn there in the delivery room, and really for most of the labor. My family is wonderful and wants to be there and be supportive. We were there with Emily's labor. Like, we were actually in the hospital with her for a part of her labor. And then we were there like right away the next day, got to see baby Grace, brand new, and it was just incredible. And of course I want my family to come after baby's born right away, but I think I want the labor to be something that me and Dawn go through with our medical, you know, support team alone. But like I said, who knows how things will unfold, but that's my plan right now. I think having the family come once all is said and done, and baby is here safe and sound, and I am safe, and everybody's okay, you know, it's just, you just don't know what could go wrong. And I just think for me at least, less people is better in that kind of situation. I tend to get overwhelmed by a lot of people, and like I said, I'm very, very private about when I'm in pain or when I'm struggling or going through something challenging. I'm very, very private about that. So Dawn will definitely be there, but that's probably it. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be another 30-minute video. Oh, okay. So, in terms of gifts, we got this really sweet card from Dawn's paternal grandmother, who wanted to send us this little sample of yarn that she's knitting a blanket for our little girl from. This is just the cutest thing. She like tied it in a little bow. It's so soft. Apparently it's machine washable and dryable. And I just thought that was the nicest. She wrote the nicest note, and I just thought it was so sweet that she sent that. So sweet. And then we also got kind of a fun unexpected gift from some friends of ours out in California who sent, they had a baby girl this past January actually, and they sent some of her favorite things for our daughter. So this book, it's a board book, Shapes by Xavier Deneau. Not sure how to pronounce his last name, but looks really cool. Kind of a good tactile book. And then this one by Lamaze, I've heard good things about this brand. Peekaboo Forest, a really nice kind of crinkly, fun, soft book, activity book. And then this was actually something I was planning on registering for. This is a Wubba Nub, and it's the little lamb. I left it in the package because I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in the package, but now I'll show you. I mean, come on, how cute. I have gifted Wubba Nubs to people who I've known who become pregnant because they are just so well reviewed by moms everywhere. And this is just, I'm so excited to have our first Wubba Nub. So those were gifts from family and friends that we received. And then I also did get some sweet things from some of you guys. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Stephanie sent a really sweet note, and this Winnie the Pooh A to Z book, I've actually never seen this. It's really cute. And she actually also sent a little book sticker that says, "This book belongs to Baby Ross." I thought that was really sweet. But this is really cute. I love it. Very sweet. And then this was a real surprise too. We got a gorgeous gift from Vera Bradley, actually from Tracy, who is a viewer. It is just, I mean, how beautiful. So there's this gorgeous and cuddly soft blanket with this beautiful satin trim. And then there's kind of this matching little, I think they call this a, what do they call this? A cozy? A lovey. It's like a little short blanket with an animal attached. The little bunny, how cute is that? And then if that wasn't, I mean, it's a very generous gift. If that wasn't enough, she also sent this sweet little outfit. It's actually a little dress and bloomer set for 3 to 6 months, so perfect for spring, summer, depending on how big the baby is. First clothing item we have received or, you know, gotten or anything for the baby. I'm just gonna pull this out to show you. How freaking cute is that? It is so darling. I love how it matches everything. And the little bloomers are just like precious. And I absolutely, I mean, this little box it came in, talk about ingenious packaging. How sweet is this? It's like already gift wrapped. You don't even have to wrap it because it's so beautiful just like that. So thank you so much, Tracy. I wish I had your address so I could send you a proper thank you note. If you want to email me, you can find my email address in the FAQ section of my blog, my website, prettyneatliving.com. Please email me your address. I'd really love to send you a handwritten note to thank you for your generosity. It was just such a sweet gift. Both Dawn and I were blown away opening it. It was just, it came in 3 boxes, so everything was like, oh, this is from Tracy too, and this too. So that was really exciting. And then we got a few really cute cards, which I can't grab. Hold on one second. So I apologize, as always, if I'm mispronouncing anybody's name. It is not my intent, but we got some really sweet cards. This one from Inga, and Inga is actually from Germany. And then we got this one from Carol. Carol's from England, and Carol also sent me a really nice letter. Thank you, Carol. And then this one's from Franca. And Franca's from Canada. I thought that was really sweet of you guys. I just love your cards and notes, and I've been putting them on the backsplash in my office. If you see videos where you can see the cards in the back. Anyway, this video was just as long as last week. Apparently they're all gonna be 30 minutes long. I don't know, you guys. I just have so much I want to share with you on any given week, and it's just so much fun for me, and you guys seem to be really enjoying it too. And thank you, continued and many thanks for your lovely comments and support and encouragement and advice and recommendations, and I love it all. I read it all. I love it all. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I will see you guys real soon. So next time you see me for an update, I'll be in Utah. So I won't have mail to share with you for a little while, but I will still share kind of what's happening with my the life and times of this pregnant lady. And I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.